published video. Okay, I'm Daniel Bennett. My business is B&A Business Development. I work with ambitious businesses in the agricultural sector, helping them become more profitable by finding and securing the right customers for them. I'm based in Cheshire, but I work currently from Aberdeen to Hampshire. Today we're going to explore the myths versus the reality of unveiling the power of digital marketing for agri-tech sales. And our goal today is to discuss how the digital channels can help you build and engage your audience and generate business opportunities to expand and boost your business. I asked for feedback from previous attendees. Some like the round the room intros, some aren't so bothered. I believe part of masterminding, I can see your grin, David. I believe part of the masterminding is building a trusted network. So I think it's important we all know who's here today. So I will ask you to introduce yourselves, but for the moment, I just want you to answer 4 things so we can keep it really short and succinct. So I would like to know what your name is, what is your job, who do you work for, and your location. Just keep those 4 things. And then later on, when we open up the conversation, we can have a broader, we can learn more about you and hopefully you'll share some of your knowledge and experience. So please, David, your name, what's your job, who do you work for, and your location?
So my name is David Franciosi. I work for MacDon and I'm based in Stamford. And I do marketing. So,
Brilliant. Okay, that's how we want it. So, Tom, what about you? Who the heck are you? What's your name?
Yeah. Hi, Ron. My name's Tom McCarg. I work for a company called Map of Ag in the Agri-Tech sector. I'm the marketing manager and I'm based in Norfolk.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tom. And Will, good to see you here. I know your name, but what's your name?
I'm Will. I work for a company called Silestop Agri. I'm the global technical manager, so I work around the world selling silage films. And I'm also based in Norfolk.
Great stuff. Thanks, Will. And Manish, who are you?
Good morning, everyone. My name's Manish. I'm an accountant based in Leicester.
Great stuff. Thanks, Manish. Right, so you're here today to solve a problem. That might be a specific challenge you're facing or to enhance your learning and understanding. Today, I'm going to show you some of what I do to help agri-tech businesses by blending marketing and sales activities to find and secure farming customers for them. If that's something you would like help with, I'll explain a little bit later how you can work with me. There are many facets to finding and securing customers. Today, we are going to focus on the myths versus reality of digital marketing for agri-tech marketing. So to set the scene, and no apologies if you've box bit before, I believe it's worth repeating. Oh, hello, Liam. Nice, welcome. Agriculture is arguably the most important industry in the world, and yet, without getting too political, it seems many of the wealthier governments around the world are deprioritizing the sector. I don't know what we're going to eat. Anyway, according to the UN, each day 25,000 people die around the world, including more than 10,000 children, and that's from hunger and related causes. Some 854 million people worldwide are estimated to be undernourished, and increasing food prices may drive another 100 million into poverty and hunger. So farmers everywhere have a really important role to play, even if in the shorter term, they're being forced through financial pressures to accept non-food producing schemes. And it's clear we need to drive improvements and efficiencies in farming, and it includes looking after our environment. And agri-tech has a massive part to play in this. And it's unlikely any single agri-tech solution is going to revolutionize food production. I mean, more likely it will move the needle 1 degree, but multiple innovations, each shifting the needle by 1 degree, has a powerful compound effect. And innovation is mostly about those marginal gains. And of course, the challenge here is farmers don't know what they don't know, if that makes sense. So how can we firstly make them aware of innovations and then help them to understand how they beneficially impact them? And to find and secure farming customers, there are many agri-marketeers that believe traditional marketing channels are more effective than digital channels. And today we're going to explore the realities. Now, the concept behind the Agri-Tech Marketing Mastermind is to share ideas, get creative. Let's explore what's worked for you and not worked for you. This is definitely an interactive session. I'm assuming no one's still in their pajamas. It's great if you can have your cameras on. Let's keep this informal. This is not about me doing death by PowerPoint or lecturing, but I will start with a sort of a presentation or a talk about my perception. But in the group, we've got a wide range of marketing and agricultural experience and knowledge. We're all students and we're all teachers. You could argue the true test of learning something is being able to teach it to others. So I hope we can all help each other. I mean, it's possible you might perceive you have a competitor in the room. To me, how much more powerful is collaboration and competition? So the concept is to introduce an agri-tech marketing topic each session. We do fortnightly. Have a short talk about it. Then let's open up the floor to everyone and to share their thoughts and perhaps if you've got a challenge around marketing or finding customers, and bring it to the group and let's talk about it. You know, within this group, you know, we shouldn't be embarrassed about you know, sharing those issues. And I know there's a wealth of experience to help as well. You're going to learn. The reality is, you're likely to learn as much from hearing others' challenges as you are sharing your own. You know, often somebody asks a question, you think, oh yeah, that is my situation. They've asked a question for you. And of course, any ideas to improve this mastermind are welcome. I mean, after all, feedback is the breakfast of champions. And I do believe in keeping to time. So we will be finished promptly at 11. So again, from feedback, I've extended the sessions from 45 minutes to an hour. Invariably, many of us have stayed on the Zoom after the 45 minutes and have said committing an hour works for them. So I will still hang around at the end of the meeting for anyone has any final questions. But yeah, we will be finished at midday. It's not at midday. We'll be finished at 11 o'clock. And please feel no embarrassment if you've just got to disappear. You might be wondering what gives me the right to talk about sales and marketing and growing businesses in the agri sector. I mean, all I ever wanted to be was a farmer. Very briefly, as a 9-year-old, I was sent to Auntie Jean's farm in Cheshire, spent a week there, and I fell in love with farming. And Auntie Jean was quite cool too. So I ended up doing agricultural college, living my dream, driving big green tractors with yellow wheels, and did that for several years until my fiance suggested to me that farming wasn't going to provide the lifestyle expected from me. So I was persuaded to go into business with her. She was a graphic designer, and we set up a design agency. Go figure. So I very quickly had to learn about marketing and sales and business development and finding customers. And I'm just going to expand on this a little bit more because I think it's relevant today. So actually, during that process of building a design agency, back in the 1990s, none of this digital stuff existed. You know, the internet wasn't there, and so we went from pasting down pieces of artwork and sending it off to reprographic houses to more latterly, you know, sending files to printers who would then create straight to plate. No films involved, straight to plate. Actually, because of the involvement in print, I actually was appointed managing director of a printing company as well in Sandbach in Cheshire. Well, I started there in 2004, sort of consulting, and I was made managing director in 2006. Now, the reason I share this is because if you remember, those of you old enough, the 2008, 2009, we saw a huge shift with the global recession from shifting from print to online channels. And basically, by 2010, I realized I couldn't do anything about it. The shareholders, of which there were 11, weren't interested. They didn't see it. So I decided I'd done my time there. But really what that did was that's really focused me on, I think agriculture might be 10 to 12 years behind other sectors of adopting digital channels. So, you know, worth reiterating. But so anyway, what happened was, fortunately, you could say my wife decided to divorce me in 2016, 2017. So I decided to go and live my dream again, went to work on a farm in the Isle of Man, then went to New Zealand as an agricultural spraying contractor. And I, on my return, I actually did work on a farm for a little while, but it sort of dawned on me how cold and wet it is here in the UK in the winter. And then I realized I could blend my business experience with my love for farming and food production, hence why I now do marketing and business development for the sector. So anyway, do you know that email, as we know it today, using the curly @ symbol, was invented in 1971? The reality is email only really started to be more widely adopted in the mid-1990s. And I can remember, possibly about 1995, our team gathering around a computer as we sent our first ever email. I guess we just don't think of it like that now, do we? But it was such a huge impact. And at that stage, we used faxes a lot. And I don't know if many of you have used faxes. you know, my solicitor still has a fax number on the bottom of their letterheads. Very strange. But if you remember early fax machines, the challenge was the fax paper. It was thermal paper on a roll, which presented two issues. What was printed on fax paper faded to nothing in time, so it wasn't a permanent record. So if somebody would send you a fax, you put it on file, go back to it 12 months later, and there was nothing there. And secondly, when you got to the end of the fax roll, you'd have a fax that simply wouldn't flatten out. You'd try to flatten this, and it would just curl back up into a tight roll. So hey, email sort of saw the end of the end of faxes, didn't it? So let's look at the transformation of the agri-tech sales landscape. I mean, over the past decade, digital marketing has significantly reshaped the agri-tech sales landscape. Traditionally, agriculture relied heavily on word of mouth, trade shows, direct sales. Actually, one of the challenges I see agri-businesses having is salespeople have a little black book of their contacts. Now, who does that little black book belong to? Really, you know, if you're being paid to do a job as a salesperson, that black book should belong to the company. And so whilst direct sales are still really important, we really should think about that data. That data is crucial to the growth of our business. So these methods still hold value. And the advent of digital marketing has introduced tools and platforms that facilitate direct communication between companies and farmers. And personalized marketing approaches now allow us to target specific farmer segments based on their unique needs and preferences. So one thing to consider is the decision process when making a purchase. Traditionally, farmers would contact their favored supplier who would help the farmer do their often biased research, and then the decision to buy would be made. So the order was contact, research, decision. Nowadays, more likely the process is research, usually online, make the buying decision, then contact the supplier. So the orders become research, decision, contact. And it's turned the whole process on its head. So current digital marketing trends shaping agri-tech. We see several trends currently shaping. And we've got to start with social media. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram provide spaces for farmers to connect, share experiences, and learn about new technologies. Don't underestimate TikTok. According to the website Exploding Topics, UK users spend more time on TikTok than any other country. Now, the surprising bit is that more than 52% of users of TikTok are over 30 years of age. We have a perception that it's a young person's, only young people are there dancing and doing silly things. If you go on, of course, I have a TikTok account purely for professional research purposes, and maybe you should too. But if you actually go on and put in farming or agriculture or tractors, it will just keep feeding it. And TikTok is known for the most powerful algorithm. Once it knows what you're looking for, it will just keep feeding it and feeding it. From my own experience, if you'd have asked me a few years ago, are farmers on LinkedIn? I'd have said, no, not really. Now I'm seeing an increasing adoption of LinkedIn, particularly by more progressive farmers. And you could argue for agri-tech businesses, these are most likely to be our customer avatar, the progressive innovators. So what about AI and machine learning? These technologies optimize marketing campaigns by predicting farmer behaviors and preferences. Now, just to be sure, when I say AI, I don't mean artificial insemination. If you've not ventured into AI, artificial intelligence channels, I suggest you do. I mean, it seems likely that AI is as a significant innovation as the internet itself. Just put a hand up. Who's used AI, ChatGPT? Okay, so pretty obviously I can't see Liam and Janesh, but you know, we're all looking at it and using it, and I'd be really interested in the conversation at the end, just to see what people, how you're using it, what you're getting from it. I'm going to make a confession. Part of what I'm doing here, I'm using AI content. I'm using generating AI content as the foundation of these presentations. It's all about transparency. I mean, I would like to know I've got a good understanding of what I'm talking about, but really it does help structure the sessions and the webinars. So what about content marketing? Blogs, videos, webinars are becoming increasingly important for educating farmers and demonstrating practical benefits of agri-tech solutions. Marketing has changed from shouting, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, to sharing stories. And of course, we explored in the last couple of agri-tech marketing masterminds how the importance of storytelling. And if you want to catch up on those, Farouk will put a link in the chat box to my YouTube channel, so you can actually watch those and the other previous sessions. So yeah, so we explored, you know, the importance of sharing stories, case studies, informing and demonstrating benefits, and for farmers in particular. And this sort of contradicts, you know, traditional marketing teaching. You know, a lot of marketers will talk about, you know, you only really need to be talking about the benefits, the value that your service, your product delivers. But what we do know is that farmers like to understand how things work. So we do need to actually, we need to go further with farmers, I think. They want to understand the benefit, but they actually want to understand the process too. And if you look at, and this is all great content, and if you look at the most successful businesses, they are prolific creators of content that blends entertainment, education, and humor. So despite its potential, several myths persist about digital marketing in this sector. And some say digital marketing is too complex or irrelevant for agriculture. Reality is digital marketing complements traditional methods and provides measurable results. It's not about replacing those personal relationships, but actually using digital in the right way can enhance those relationships, because we've got data-driven insights. We actually can use facts to support our stories. Farmers are not tech savvy and won't engage with digital content. Well, we've only got to look at how they've taken to things like auto steer and GPS and stuff like that. But many farmers are actively using digital platforms to seek information and make purchasing decisions. They're more connected, informed than ever before. 87% of adults in the UK have a smartphone. Okay, maybe this might be a bit less for farmers, but it's still a significant chunk. So we're carrying these sophisticated computers that we could only imagine, couldn't even imagine back in the early 1990s. You know, they're carrying in their pocket the ability to just find out anything they need wherever they are. And you know, our farmer avatar for our Agri-Tech is not the bale twine for a belt type. We're talking about the progressives, the innovators, and the early adopters. So a few misconceptions. A prevalent misconception is that digital marketing doesn't yield tangible results for Agri-Tech sales. However, the digital marketing allows for precise targeting and analytics. It's enabling companies to track the performance of their campaigns in real time. And this data-driven approach helps refine strategies and improve return on investment, making digital marketing highly effective in driving sales and engagement. So some sort of practical applications of digital marketing. To be effective, digital marketing strategies must be tailored specifically for the agri-tech sectors. Educational content. Create content that addresses farmers' pain points and provides practical solutions. I have it's a horrible term, but if you identify a pain point, why don't you put your fingers into it and give it a little mix around like that to really get that pain point driven home? Let's use testimonials and case studies. Use real life success stories to build trust. We all know that farmers like to look over the hedge of what their neighbours are up to, and in digital marketing terms, that's about sharing those stories. And far more powerful when a farmer has told them what they've achieved from your product or service than you trying to do it yourself. And of course, let's use social media and use those platforms to engage with the farming community, foster a sense of community. And don't forget, it's called social media, not business media. So I think, you know, let's focus on that the community rather than just trying to you know, pitch your business. Excuse me a second. It's not gin. So some key digital marketing tactics. I've already said about content marketing, blogs and videos that educate and inform. The data tells us that video is so powerful. You know, people's attention span. They say a goldfish has the attention span of about 7 seconds. I think most people probably got less, haven't they? So this is where you've really got to use, you know, video to really capture people's attention. And when you've got their attention, using video to really get to educate, entertain, and maybe humor. You know, using social media to engage as well, active participation on platforms, not just turning up when you want something. You've got to actually give as well, and the law of reciprocity is, when you give, actually the universe says it will give back. Email marketing, personalized campaigns that speak directly to farmers' needs. Now, of course, spam drives us all mad, but it's only spam when it's of no value to the recipient. So make sure your emails are giving value, and actually, in which case, it isn't spam, it's of value. And we need to probably touch on SEO, or search engine optimization, increasing online visibility through search engines. So what do I mean? So SEO plays a critical role in improving visibility of agri-tech companies by optimizing website content for relevant keywords and ensuring a user-friendly experience. Agri-tech companies can rank higher in search engine results. Increasing visibility helps attract more organic traffic, making it easier for farmers to find and engage with the solutions on offer. Google presents us with a whole load of free tools, opportunities. It's free real estate, and let's face it, Google more or less controls the world. So let's make the most of what Google provides us. And of course, there are other search engines, and I should have checked, but I'm guessing Google must be 95% plus of search engine use. I could be wrong, and maybe somebody can put me right. So what do we mean by effective SEO strategies? Firstly, high quality, authentic content. Create content that answers farmers' questions. The best SEO is content driven. Now, going back a few years, we did keyword loading. I don't know if anyone remembers this, where web developers would find as many words as they possibly can, however it related to what was on the website, and they would load them onto a page and probably hide them by making them the same color as the background or making them white. And this is very much now frowned upon. But still knowing your keywords is really important, because it's weaving those keywords into your content, into your blogs, into your vlogs. Also, how many times have you been on a website and something's not worked on it? Maybe it's a missing image, maybe the speed at which something loads, maybe it's a broken link. There's so many technical issues within a website, and if your website's not working, Google doesn't like that, and it will mark you down. And I mean, I imagine some of you are proactively managing your technical SEO. Those of you aren't, you'll probably be amazed at the faults that could be found within your website. Even those who are proactively managing, when they still run those tests again, they still find stuff. It's a continuous process to keep your website technically bob on. And then backlinks. I did have not an argument. Somebody said, "Oh, backlinks don't work." Well, I believe they do. Relevant backlinks, relevant backlinks, especially from reputable sources. If you can get, I was going to get political then. A backlink from the BBC is a highly valuable link for you. But anyway, making it relevant as well, keeping, finding other agricultural businesses. How do you build backlinks? Blogging and reaching out to them. So connecting with farmers through Agri-Tech, we can better connect with farmers by creating relevant and relatable content. Utilize those social media channels to engage in conversations, respond to inquiries, and share success stories. I had I'm not going to name them, but a very well-known trailer manufacturer approached me a couple of years ago, wanting to explore social media, and they weren't on social media, and all they were concerned about was, what if somebody said something negative to them? And you see, my perspective is, if somebody complains to you, it's an opportunity to put something right. If somebody's taken the time to actually say, this didn't work, actually, I think it's the opportunity to say, we take that on board. And we were taught to seek out complaints, because if you can find a complaint, you can actually resolve it, and chances are you make a very loyal customer out of it. So yeah, this company, all they were concerned about was, what happens if somebody says something derogatory about them on their pages? How can we monitor it 24/7 to remove them? To me, missing the total point of social media. If you get, if you put your head above the parapet, sometimes you're going to get shot at. I would argue, to have some lovers, you've got to have some haters, because everything's in balance. But Social media can offer free resources, guides, webinars, product demonstrations, help educate farmers, build trust in the company's expertise. By engaging, you build trust, and we all deal with people we trust. So, I mean, marketing to a diverse farming audience does present challenges, such as varying levels of technological adoption, differing needs based on farm size, type, and location, overcoming skepticism. Any skeptic farmers out there? Towards new technologies, and addressing language barriers can also be challenging. And segmenting the audience and tailoring messages accordingly ensures they are accessible and relevant to each group. And we've got to think, tailoring digital marketing strategies to the local context and culture is vital. One of my clients is a Scotsman, and I only understand every other word he says, and that word always starts with F. So, we do have these differences, within the UK. Different regions have unique agricultural practices and challenges. Is it twitch grass or couch grass? It's the same thing, but in different parts of the country, it's called different. And we need to respect and address these nuances. So tailoring messages to reflect local values and leveraging local influencers can significantly enhance the effectiveness of marketing efforts and foster strong connections with farmers. Probably worth mentioning influencers. It's become a thing, hasn't it? Whatever channel you're on, there are influencers on all of them. I suppose I must admit I do follow Tom Pemberton. I think he's a down-to-earth, hard-working chap. Shares a great relationship with his dad, the Ginger Warrior. How can we work with these people? And again, I actually had a conversation with somebody recently who'd paid Joe Seals a little bit of money and actually saw quite a significant uplift in traffic on their website. So these are digital influencers, but they're real people too, and we get to bump into them. So in the UK, regional differences in crops grown and specific challenges faced by farmers in different areas necessitate targeted marketing efforts. Will, you said you're in Norfolk and you're selling silage sheep. You should be in Cheshire, shouldn't you?
The world.
So yeah, dairy farmers in the southwest may benefit from marketing focused on livestock health and productivity, while those arable farmers in the east more precision farming technologies. And understanding these regional differences allows us more targeted and relevant marketing offers. It's not spam then, is it, if it's relevant? So what about data analysis? Data is crucial in shaping our digital marketing strategies for Agri-Tech. It provides insights into farmer behavior, preferences and engagement, allowing companies to tailor their marketing efforts more effectively. Analyzing data from various digital channels helps identify which tactics are working, optimizing campaigns, making informed decisions that drive better results and higher return on investment. So a few tools and platforms to help us with our measuring digital marketing. Google Analytics. I hope you're all familiar with that. I hope you've got it all running on your website. Insightful into traffic and user behaviors. Social media analytics, Facebook Insights, Twitter Analytics, they're all available to us. And email marketing platforms, monitoring open and click-through rates with MailChimp or similar platforms. Now, my favorite, to be honest, is I use HubSpot as a CRM system because it really helps me track those customer interactions and sales conversions. It blends CRM with email marketing, and one of the things I look out for is where people are actually clicking or opening emails and clicking links. To me, that's somebody I can see taking interest, and we can see down to that detail. So key lessons include the importance of using a multi-channel approach to reach a diverse audience. So I'm not saying scrap all the traditional stuff. I think something that lockdown taught us, that whilst Zoom has its place, of course it does, we're human beings. We still need that one-to-one interaction. This year, generally the weather seems to have favoured some of the events. And yesterday I was at Nantwich show. Bloody hot it was, but buzzing it was, and we still need to see that. But actually, what we can do is, if we talk about multiple points of contact with our clients, and years ago it used to be 3 points of contact, it's now 7, it could be 15. So blending the traditional with the digital channels gives us those opportunities to stay in touch, to keep those relationships going. You know, we're constantly after new information, education, leverage those customer testimonials and success stories to enhance your credibility. Continuously monitor and analyze those campaign performance to make data-driven adjustments, and that's critical for your ongoing success. So trends for the future. Looking ahead, I foresee an increased emphasis on personalized marketing, where data and AI deliver tailored messages to individuals, and that's based on their specific needs and behaviors. Excuse me. Immersive technologies such as virtual reality, so that's the computer-generated simulations, and augmented reality, which is interactive experience that combines the real world and computer-generated 3D content. They provide interactive product demonstrations and training. The integration of IoT describes devices with sensors, processing ability software, and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the internet or other communication network. So the Internet of Things, IoT, encompasses electronics, communication, computer science, engineering. Devices will offer real-time data and insights, enhancing the precision and effectiveness of our digital marketing. So you've got to stay ahead. Agri-tech companies should continuously explore and adopt new technologies and platforms, investing in ongoing education and training for their marketing teams to keep up with industry trends and best practices is essential. David, when we talked earlier, you were saying how important it is to you to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep learning. If we keep doing what we've always done, we'll always get what we always got. So a part of the Agri-Tech Mastermind is fostering a culture of innovation, encouraging experimentation with new marketing techniques, and hopefully we can share some of these with each other. Collaborating with other industry players and staying engaged with the farming community will also help companies remain relevant and responsive to evolving needs. So look, I mean, in conclusion, digital marketing holds immense power to transform agri-tech sales, debunking lies and bridging gaps between technology and its adoption by farmers. By leveraging tailored strategies, data analysis, and innovative techniques, agri-tech companies can effectively reach and engage with farmers, driving growth and sustainability in the agricultural sector. So look, thank you for joining me and listening to what I've got to say. What I'd like to do now is open the floor up for a discussion. Now, those of you who've been before will know that you don't get away with not participating because I drag you in. And Liam and Janesh, great to see you here. I mean, possibly you're busy doing something else. I understand that, but it'd be great if you can join in. But if I see you wave your hand or your microphone go off, I'll bring you in. So, but yeah. Tom, obviously Map of Ag, a great technology type business. How what we've talked about here, or how does that impact you, or have you got other challenges that you're currently facing?
Oh yeah, it's as long as a piece of string, I suppose, as an answer. Long story short, but yeah, I think for us in particular, because we know our market is so niche, it is highly targeted. So if we are going to be using performance-based marketing, we do have to be very specific on who we're actually targeting and best understanding that. So, for example, if we're trying to reach chief sustainability officers in the food production world, there might be about 50 of them in the UK at most or something. So you have to have very specific niche content that you're advertising with on the organic side of things, but also for your advertising. And getting good stuff starts by working backwards and talking to your customer, understanding, like you were saying, about pain points. How do you make their life easier? How have you made their life better? And being able to take people through that sort of story. And yeah, once you've got a good customer, they're a great asset because they can be used for case studies, a great advocate for the business as well, because ultimately the best thing to do is to take somebody from being just a customer to being a fan, because then you're getting tons of organic marketing for nothing. They're willing to share stuff to thousands of people they know. Yeah, cost pennies to do, really, effectively. So yeah, there's a plethora of things that we have to think about. And even what you were saying about Google and AI, even Google's changing the way they structure search results. So AI is going to be the top suggestion. So and that's slowly going to creep in. So we're going to be competing with Google itself more and more if we're going to be effective at search engine marketing and organic content. So yeah, there's a endless pit of stuff to talk about and go through, but yeah, I'll open the floor to other people and yourself, Daniel.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Tom. That's really good to hear. Will Dunn, we've got two Wills in the room. Will Dunn, yeah, you're running a tech solution, tech platform. Just tell the others a little bit about what it is and how are you progressing with I mean, there's an argument if it's a tech solution, it needs to be tech marketed. But hey, who knows?
Yeah. So yeah, hi everyone. Pretty much, AgDrive is an app for agricultural contractors. So it's like a job recording tool to essentially streamline the process of recording all your jobs right the way through into linking into accounting software like Xero, Sage, and QuickBooks. Essentially, when we first kicked off, we would have probably done the more traditional sort of marketing, doing the trade shows, doing a bit in magazines and whatnot. Whereas the trade shows were good to start with to get yourself out there, and then obviously word of mouth is the best thing with it. What is what we found, which will still be your baseline for it. But it's interesting what you said about TikTok and stuff like that, because actually we have a variety of different tools that we use. And I mean, I actually did a webinar this morning. We do have a TikTok page, which, when we do like user stories where we go out and film with our customers, bang them up on YouTube, get little short snippets that we post reels on. And that seems to, get people talking. And, it's just, essentially, it's like being, you're just trying to be everywhere, whether they're looking on Instagram or looking elsewhere. You've almost got to be not annoying, but you've just got to be everywhere in front of them. And I mean, I think it's more of a case of, particularly in the ag sector, I've just found that it's very, very difficult there isn't one strategy that works. You've almost got to sort of throw mud at a wall and see what sticks. But don't get me wrong, for us, like we've more concentrated on like the Llama Show is always a big one for us, and then it's more doing the social stuff. But I've definitely moved. I'm not doing anything to do like print advertising. It's all sort of online. But I mean, even still, I'm interested to hear if anyone said anything about sort of Facebook ads, for example, because I mean we do a bit of that and Google ads, but I still sort of struggle a bit with the algorithms, which. Sometimes it all depends on, I sort of run them for a bit and then sort of sporadically sort of run them on and off. But it's an absolute minefield, to be honest. I think this whole section, and I don't think we will ever nail it, to be honest, because the algorithms change so much. But yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Will. David, I mean, I know you've obviously you shared something with me. I won't share the details, but
yeah, don't share them.
Yeah. You've made stuff. Maybe you could share your experience.
Yeah, we're doing quite a lot of ads with Meta at the moment, mainly because it's our peak season. I shared something with Daniel where I think it was 49% of our reach came from ads in the month of July. We've had quite good success with ads, mainly because it helps to push things in front of people that probably wouldn't have seen it unless they come onto your page. So we don't pay a load of money. We keep it quite low. But what we do is do a lot of work on the demographics of where the ad actually reaches. And we use a lot of keywords as well. And we also use the keywords of all of our competitors as well. So being able to do that and actually just sometimes don't have such a big demographic. So sometimes we'll do 25 to 45-year-olds, male and female, and then we'll do it in different countries and stuff. We did run a demo request advert on Facebook, and it was the only place we put it. It was not publicized on the website anywhere else. We got 50, 60 requests, and that was off the back of a Facebook ad that cost us £40. So sometimes don't have a big expectation for them. Yeah. People seem to think that it has to like push things so much quicker, but it doesn't. When you do a Facebook ad, turn the messaging system off and actually click Facebook Instagram, not Facebook and Facebook Messenger. I forgot to do that, and I just got bombarded with loads of messages of people going, I want to know more. And I was like, so I turned that off. So the thing is with Meta, okay? Meta is a business, we're a business. they want to give them some money. If you don't give them money, you will just see your insights drop off the face of the earth. You just have to give them something. Doesn't have to be massive amounts of money. My budget each month for Instagram and Facebook is 400 Canadian dollars, so probably about £250.
Yeah.
On Instagram in July, we reached 1 million users in Instagram in July, and a lot of that was backed up by an advert. So we're having lots of content created for us, and then we just pushed an advert out just to kind of push it along a lot more, and it has actually been really successful. And same with the videos. So I don't get much response from an image post. So if you post an image post, you don't get much response from that. I always find that adverts work more on reels and videos. Reels for us, which is the vertical footage, is predominantly where all our views are. So now this harvest, we're shooting 60% vertical content, actually in the vertical frame, because trying to edit landscape into vertical is a nightmare. They always end up with one arm or no arms. So we actually run 2 cameras side by side, one landscape, one vertical, and that's what we do. But to give you a bit of an idea, TikTok's a little bit harder because you can't share content. Now on Instagram, there's an app called Repost Plus, and it's from the App Store. It costs $2.99 a week, and I can share every post on Instagram that's not on a private profile. So to give you an idea, the last month we've done very little company generated content. We've used every content that's been made in the field. So everything that our owners, our drivers, photographers have used, we've used that. And I've shared 690 stories in June and July, which sounds bonkers, okay? Yeah. But they're all happy customers. They're all people who are happy enough to film it, happy enough to publicly publish it. And we've created these little GIFs. So if you go on MacDon Europe Instagram, we've created these GIFs. So like we've done like Team MacDon, I Harvest with MacDon, if the tough gets going, challenge accepted. And drivers like doing these type of things. And one thing I've learned from a dealer side, I don't know if anyone works with dealers here, but from a dealer side, just communicating back as the brand. So when someone at a dealer level in marketing has created a video and you've gone, that's perfect. Literally, we've had dealers just go mental. And even if like the operators go, they put a video up, I'll go, thanks for that, an amazing video. They get ecstatic that the brand has just communicated with them. Because like the majors don't do that. If you put any tractor picture up on Instagram, I very doubt that company would even talk to you or say thank you or share it. And honestly, I was telling Daniel, it's awesome, but I should have done this 4 years ago. And trying to explain to my boss that I probably should have worked this out 4 years ago. But no, it's a really great way to get your customers a bit of airtime. And it's also a great way to share your success stories, but not in your words.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So start off with doing small ads. Don't pump a load of cash in. If you put £1,000 in, you'll regret it. Okay. Do lots of little ones. Never do them for anything less than 4 days. Anything shorter than 4 days just doesn't work. You've got to give it time to go through the whole system and get it running. And another important thing to do as well is go onto your Facebook page and your Instagram page and look at what time your page is popular. Now, I know between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, our pages are busy. And by 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock, our pages are busy. So if I post during the day, your insights are quite low. So actually go on to your business suite and work out when your page is more popular, and you have to go to insights audience, and it'll tell you there when your page is more busy. And if you post when you're busy, it'll work better. If you post when it's quiet, it doesn't work as much.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And share stuff on your pages. Share stuff back to your company Facebook page. Okay, it's a community. Facebook likes communities. Share stuff, tag people, comment. Always reply to a comment. Okay, if you always reply to a comment on your Facebook page and on Instagram, it classes as being active, and it's not kind of using it as a bot. And another thing I've just discovered 2 days ago, which is awesome, is an AI voiceover. So everyone hates talking on camera, okay? There's a company where you can type in and pick what tone you want it in. And it's amazing. Like, I managed to pick the deepest Southwest American rural accent you could ever get. And it's like something off Yellowstone. And I'm now using AI voiceover. One, because it's so fast to use, okay? Two, there's so many different options. And three, it's something new. Where I always used to like putting music on videos, but now I'm like, well, you might as well talk to them while they're watching. You might as well use it at both opportunities to get into their head. You know, visually, we've always done it with some music, but where possible now, we try and do talk voiceovers. And this system, it's called Artlist.io. And and it's a very quick. It comes out in like 3 minutes. It's crazy. Like, I was testing it on Monday, and I went, "This is super scary." And I sent
innovation is so. Like I say, you know, we sort of think, well, surely innovation can't go any quicker.
Oh, it's crazy.
Actually, it is. It keeps accelerating.
So I've got another software which we're using, so I can write in English, and it will translate it in voiceover into 11 different languages. And we tried it, and it's not that far off. It's quite scarily close. A few technical words which everyone struggles with, like Google Translate struggle with and stuff like that. But the ability to do it at your desk, literally now, and have it out within 10 minutes is just nuts. But, you know, I have, back to Facebook marketing, I've had great success from Facebook marketing, but I never put a lot of money on each ad.
David, those insights are really helpful. I'm sure hopefully that's can use some sort of steer in.
Well, that's why I sent you that picture, because I didn't want to sit and tell you. I sent you the picture, and then you can go, oh, okay, yeah, it does work.
Yeah.
So, other Will Wilson, I might have this totally wrong. I mentioned influencers and Tom Pemberton. Did you do something with Tom Pemberton?
We did when we were previously named Arc Agriculture, and it was hugely valuable. It was a really, really good thing to do. Probably, I don't know, 40 inquiries off the back of it, which for us was phenomenal. Really, we paid quite. You know, we didn't pay a lot of money to do it, but we paid enough, so we wanted something back from it, I guess. The thing we're struggling with at the moment is creating I don't know the word format, but like a style. Because at the moment we have a marketing team, and we have everyone in the marketing team has new ideas, and we're not really following like a reliable format. And I don't know if we should be or not. So you see some companies where they have a very sort of identifiable format for things like social media posts and photos and videos, where it's very, you can tell that that's their style of photo, or that's their style of marketing. But we're a little bit more all over the place at the moment, and I can't work out which way it should go. There's one extreme. There's a company who we work with called Zap Shelter.
Yes,
and they're kind of the other extreme, where everything they do is branded extremely tightly to this like image, and they refer to each employee as shelterologists, and they have these. I'm not sure I love that, to be honest, but they do have a really clear, like definable, recognizable strategy and image. The other one would be ADF, you know, the milking parlour guys with the yellow. Everyone knows if you walk into a dairy show, that is ADF. They've always had the same style stand, you know.
So actually, James, I can't remember his surname, but James, who's the founder of ADF, yeah, I had a conversation with him, and it was probably at Dairy Tech or Dairy Day, something like that, and his stand was heaving with people, and he said he's got a very simple philosophy with exhibiting. He wants to have the busiest stand on the show. He doesn't care whether it's who's on the stand, as long as he's got people on the stand, because he says people attract people, and that's why he plays on the beer and the wine and the snacks. And that's his philosophy. And like you say, you walk in, and it's always there. It's always consistent.
I kind of get that, because then they're famous, because I don't think they do much else outside of that. So they spend all their marketing budget on being the guys at the stand at the shows. But I don't know. Is it better to have a really clear, specific sort of image, or is it better to have lots of different approaches? Personally, I think being really explicit and clear, and like that's a like the Zap Shelter. That's Zap Shelter before you've even read it. Like the image is always very similar. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
I think I will actually ask Tom in a minute, because Tom, you come from a broader marketing background, so maybe, but just for what it's worth, my little opinion. To me, it sounds like you're not quite clear on your brand, on your messaging. I mean, when I say brand, I don't mean a logo. I mean, just exactly what your message is, what your personality is.
Because there's too many of us in the business. It's like it's really easy to define that when you're a small business, because it's you. So when we were a small business, it was great because we could define that, because it was basically there's only 3 of us in a room, so one of us was the personality. But when you become a bigger business, you become more corporate.
If you look at, well, and this is where, do you want to be a corporate, or with a fairly strict definition, or do you want to be a more entrepreneurial, personality type driven business? I mean, you look at the likes of, say, John Deere, who are, their corporate guidelines will be, if you break them, you're in trouble.
Has anyone? I guess my follow-on question then is: has anyone got a good example of someone who manages to do both quite well? Where you think they've still got a personality, but they're a big business?
I've got certainly out of ag. I mean, you think of likes of Audi, who you have actually done some amazing sort of social media type stuff, gently taking the piss out of almost competitors and getting away with it. But again, their guidelines will be strict. I mean, Tom, have you?
We're near an Air Force base.
It's Mildenhall, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're coming over your house in a minute.
Yeah, 2 minutes time. I think it is interesting. I think a brand I worked with where we were really good at doing it from an agency perspective of helping, being very branded, but trying to be sort of human, and I hate the word because it sounds so opposite, but authentic, was when I worked with Bayer Crop Science, because we really put the people forward as the experts and showed their individual personalities. And then over time, because we were so good at that and our videos were corporately branded but not dull and boring, and we did push the boundaries of brand guidelines for a company as big as Bayer, where we were just like, we can show your logo for the first 5 seconds of the video, but nobody's going to watch it. So we're just going to do that, basically. So we went our own way, and then all the competitors started to eventually reach out to us and talk about, or you'd go into conversation, people would be like, oh God, if only we could be like them, because you keep on seeing so-and-so's face everywhere all the time. And we'd use a bit of advertising on Facebook and Instagram. So ultimately, you have got these individual assets that can be like these extensions of your brand that can be more off the hinges of following the brand guidelines. It can be really good if you get a team fully engaged like that. And it sounds like a really boring way of going about it, but there's quite a lot of like old school marketing theory reading of that. We're ultimately in a commoditized business. So differentiation is very, very hard, because like if you sell fertilizer, you're constantly selling, you get more yield on your wheat and you'll get a better Hagberg falling number, which a farmer says, I just want more yield and then I might make more money. You've then got to try and stand out against CF, Yara, Omex, Bayer, whoever else is producing very similar product. So differentiation can come from your brand identity, standing out, attractive with yellow wheels, orange wheels, whatever it may be. Try and build sort of a cult following. And it could be just through the other sort of intangible benefits of, you buy fertilizer from us, we truly care, we own all our lorries, so you're not dealing with contractors. We always do this, we go above and beyond, whatever it may be in your messaging. But it is really a trial and error basis thing. It's not going to happen overnight. But
I think you're right about the people element. The problem is that when you get into a slightly bigger company, and we supply distributors as well, is that actually the people are not important. Not important, but we're a step behind the customer. So it's kind of encouraging the distributor to embrace the people element.
Yeah.
Will, I'm really conscious of time because I do.
Sure.
Sorry, no, I hope not to be rude. Just pick up a couple of things. I think the days of business to business, business to consumer, those days are done. It's all about people to people, and I understand you've got a layer of other people in between you and your actual end user, and I would argue you've got to take some real responsibility for your marketing, because if you don't do it, they ain't going to do it for you. You talked about maintaining personality, and I think one of the big ones that's done it very well is Frontier. And if you've seen that, they have the faces of faces of people who work for Frontier on their wagons. And so they have managed to retain some personality there. But actually, I can't remember his name. Somebody else probably can. The marketing manager for Fendt from South Africa has been on a couple of our calls. And he actually said that one of their challenges is to be more emotional, more personable, to move away from this corporate type, rule book. So, actually, you say about the corporates, and, as you've grown the business, Will, but actually there are ways of doing it. And hey, we're here. If you want to have a conversation with me or any of the others one-on-one about that, then let's have a chat and see where that goes. But I say time. Look at that. Time has flown past. Good thinking about extending it to an hour, I hope. So look, I am very happy to provide a complimentary Zoom, whether that's to take a look at your story or digital marketing or your brand. Farouk. So I never introduced Farouk. I always forget. Farouk helps me. Farouk's based in Nigeria, and he sort of makes he makes all the stuff happen for this. And without him, it wouldn't happen. So I'm really grateful to Farouk. But he'll put in the chat box. He'll put a calendar link so you can actually find a slot in my diary, or drop me an email or something, and we can have a chat. Also in the link, we'll have in the chat box, we'll have the link to the DNA YouTube channel, that you can rewatch this session, David, and you can rewatch this session, or you can actually go back and watch the previous ones. I think I hope they're all good, but the ones about storytelling might help you, Will. They might be worth checking out. There's actually part 1 and part 2 because it became quite intense and engaged. If you'd like to be connected with anyone else on the Zoom, just drop me a message and I'll just check they're happy for me to share their details. To me, I believe network is so important. I've not checked this. The next Agri-Tech Marketing Mastermind is in 2 weeks' time. So that's going to be the 14th of August at 10 a.m. And I can't for the life of me remember what it's going to be. Can you, Farouk? I can. I'll let you all know. I'll have to let you know. I normally check, but I've forgotten today. So yeah, remember, if you want to one-to-one, book that with me. We'll have a deeper conversation. Ultimately, as suppliers to the most important industry in the world, farming, we have a responsibility to really understand farmers and provide them with workable solutions to help them produce food and run profitable businesses. And to do that, we need to embrace all the technology that's available to us. So thank you so much for joining in this Agri-Tech Marketing Mastermind Zoom. We'll just hang around for a short while if anyone wants to have any specific questions. Otherwise, it's time to say goodbye. Remember, hope is not a strategy. Goodbye.
If anybody wants to speak to me, just drop me an email. I'm always happy to share my success stories. I don't do anything that's patented or secret. So
Yeah,
if anyone.
So actually, just told me next one is cultivating community, building social media strategies for agri-tech businesses. There you go. Thank you for it.
I can help you with that one.
Okay. Well, maybe we should do an interview.
No, I was saying to you the other day, we just grown our Instagram in a month, doubled it.
Yeah.
Just by communicating with the people using it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like our insights have gone crazy because now we're actually talking to users who are tagging us and leaving comments and stuff like that. And yeah, it's I think you have to do that. It is quite time consuming, but I've now got 50% more people I can reach when I do more posts in September and October. So no, there is some people put great expectations on ads, and I would rather spend £200 on Facebook and build my audience than spend £200 on the Farmers Weekly, because that's not building my audience.
Yeah.
The more I can build, the more I reach. And that's how I like to do it. If I can put an advert in and get an extra 100 people that I can talk to for the next 24 months, then that's better. There might not be a decision maker in month 1, but there might be a decision maker in month 7.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to build our community and have more people engaged with us so we can reach them better. Where we spent so much money on print ads, and I don't generally know what we've got from it. Maybe we've done the wrong print ads, I don't know, but it's actually quite good to get your monthly figures, which have just landed today, and you can see your audience is growing, and your interactions are growing, and that for me is a better way to spend money.
Yeah. Well, look, let's explore that. And really thanks for your time, gents, and hopefully you've got some value from that. And
yeah, but like I say, if anyone wants to ask me questions, they can contact me directly. I don't mind. Cool. I've got no issues.
Yeah. All right.
We're all in the same job.
Yes, we are. We learn from each other, and I avoid calling myself an expert, because expert suggests that you know everything, and I certainly don't. I might like to think I'm a specialist, but that sort of I need to continuously learn new stuff. Nobody's got all the answers, and marketing is a blend of probably science, data, and creativity and emotion, isn't it?
It changes every day as well. That's one thing that I quite like about my job. It doesn't sit still very long, and the amount of new stuff that's out there that until you go digging, you don't even know is available. Like I didn't realize that you could now schedule on the Instagram app. I always thought you had to do it through the business suite, but after looking through it the other day, I was like, oh, there's a scheduling button there now. Which was never there. And yeah, there's so much to learn from different people. Wins and losses. There's some things that I could do that don't work for other people, and these things that I've not wanted to try, but other people have tried and had a success from it. So, like I said, it's good to share knowledge. Nothing's patented, nothing's secret. Yeah. It's all available. It's just good to share when we've done well or when we haven't.
Okay, great stuff. Well, look, should we bring it to an end?
Yeah, I need to jump on another one.
Yeah, so Will, thanks for your participation, asking the questions. Obviously, hopefully you got something from David and the rest of us. Tom, good to see you again.
Yeah,
Liam, if you're still listening in, thank you for listening in.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoyed it.
Cheers, guys.
Right. Yeah, have a good rest of the day, everyone.
In a fortnight, I hope. Okay.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.